Hello everyone, I'm Ferdi Salvador. Join us in unlocking the tricks of the trade here on Trade Talks. Let's get down to business. The business of art is very competitive and cutthroat, with galleries and exhibits left and right. So how can today's artists get noticed and be able to sell their pieces? Some would say they just want to make art whether people buy them or not. But there are those who want to promote cultural exchange and love of country more than anything else. Let's get insights from two artists while they try to find out how they hone their skills and how they share their artistic skills to the community. Joining us today are artists Luca, Martini, and Jeanroll, Ejar. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on today's show.
Good morning.
And I know, Jeanroll, you are from Iloilo, taga
Yes.
Iloilo ka, and I don't know if you live back and forth from Manila and Iloilo.
Yes.
Good. Fantastic.
Pupunta ako mga every 2 months, ganyan.
Okay. So we might call you a regular resident here in Manila. And of course, Mr. Luca, bienvenidos a Manila. You are from Argentina, Buenos Aires specifically.
That's it, yes.
And
I'm
it's your
from there.
first time here in the Philippines.
And in Asia too, but yes, Philippines, I got the luck to be the first place.
So you're our first stop in your Asian journey.
Of course.
So tell me, you are both involved in a Siargao Artist and Residence program with Ejar,
Yes,
right?
that's it.
And this is all about cultural and artistic exchange. How did you both get involved in it? Ikaw muna, Sir Jeanroll.
Ako po, kinuntak po ako ng isang friend na kung pwede daw akong mag-residency doon kasi naghahanap sila ng woodcarver dito sa Philippines kasi bihira lang naman yung mga woodcarver.
Correct.
Siguro ako yung nakita nila na parang bagay doon sa program na ito.
Bagay o magaling? Yun.
Pwede rin.
Yes. And what about you, Luca? How did you get involved in the program?
Well, I'm going to another residency on the south of France. We talk a little bit about that, but they invited me here because there's like a connection between residencies. When they say if I wanted to go to Philippines, I said, why not? Like,
So that's the Portonic Art Center, right?
That's it, exactly.
So what I was talking about during my intro was, art as a business, right? Of course, artists also need to earn. I mean, and the art world can either be, very lucrative or what they call the starving artist. I don't think you're both starving artists, to be completely honest. But what's the difference between, defining yourself as an artist with business, and art as a business versus artists with the passion for cultural exchange and how to promote your craft?
well, by my opinion, I mean, passion is very important. You need to be passionate about what you do. But of course, you need to eat, you need to live. So it's good to move and to meet people in my case, from another countries and connect because networking might be part of the art, but never leave aside passion. Like passion is like the battery, the source of what you create. So if you don't abandon that, the other comes along. Like, well, that's my view on it.
Yes. Ikaw naman, Jeanroll, ang negosyo at saka art ba sa'yo nagtutugma or anong mas priority mo? Passion or of course creating? And what percentage of that is the business?
Sa akin, about sa art, mas importante sa akin yung passion dyan. Kasi bilang isang woodcarver, gusto kong i-promote yung wood carving na mga techniques sa public na para hindi siya mawala. At gusto ko rin siyang ituro at ipakita sa mga tao na maganda itong art na style na ito para hindi siya mawala sa Pilipinas kasi vanishing na po siya dahil sa mga machines.
Really? It's a vanishing art?
Yes. Kaya
Okay.
kailangan natin siyang i-preserve din.
Well, I'm so happy na andito ka today kasi I didn't know na it's a vanishing art in the Philippines, woodcrafting. Kasi, syempre, dito sa Luzon, madami kami nakikita, for example, yung mga sa Paite and Pampanga, when they carve furniture or home decor. So in my mind, it's not the case.
Sa
So what's happening?
Sa Paete kasi meron dong mga ice carving competition yung mga cruise ship. Tapos yung mga pinaka-best, hinahire nila na mag-work sa cruise ship at doon na mag-carve ng ice. Kaya yung naiiwan doon, mga matatanda na lang na mga wood carvers. So may tendency siya na parang mawawala siya later if hindi siya ipasa sa mga batang
So
wood carvers.
this is very important to talk about
Yes.
because although it's bittersweet actually, Jeanroll, kasi there's job opportunities for artists
Yes.
to earn money basically, or to make sure that their families have something to put on the table.
Yes.
But the sad part is that it's vanishing.
Yes.
And you obviously look very young. And how are you promoting your craft so that it doesn't vanish? Are you teaching younger people or paano yan?
Sa amin sa Iloilo, mayroon kaming group na Iloilo Wood Carving Services. Bali, tinuturuan po namin yung mga kabataan, mga out-of-school youth. Inuuna mo namin yung mga relatives namin na walang mga trabaho. Tinuturuan namin siya ng wood carving doon sa furniture shop namin mismo at wood carving shop. Kaya marami na doon, mga 8 na sila doon. Yung isa dinala ko nga dito para magkuhan sa akin, parang tutulong siya sa akin sa pag-sand, ganyan. Ginawa ko siyang assistant.
And nahihirapan ba kayo para mag-recruit ng mga artists that you can teach?
Ay, hindi naman. Kasi marami namang gustong mag-try na mag-carve. At kung magustuhan nila, pwede silang mag-stay doon sa shop. Pwede na nilang gamitin yung skill nila sa ibang kung anong gusto nilang gawin sa skill na naipasa namin sa kanila.
Yeah, because I have a set of questions in my head, but the thing is, now that you've mentioned that it's a dying art, I've got an alert in my system, and I want to talk about that further. But I'll get back to you. What about you, Luca? In Argentina, and your medium is also woodcraft, right?
Yeah.
How is it? Is it also a thriving medium, or is it also a dying art?
Well, first, it's a super interesting topic. I think there's not a culture as it is here. Like, you have a lot of tradition with wood, which, for example, in my case, it impacted me. It's very heartwarming because you see like there's a lot of passion and inheritance about that. My country is more like a recent country in that fact, like we don't have this heritage of woodwork. I do woodwork like because of a heritage of my family more than my country itself. So I couldn't even answer that question correctly because I really don't know. I know there's not so much wood carvers. It's not a common thing. So yes, it is true that art is normally, I've heard in Tagalog, I don't know if I understood everything.
I want to translate to you. I should have a monitor.
No, don't worry. No, and actually I speak, my mother tongue is Spanish, so sometimes you speak in Tagalog and I understand some little things.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not that it's being replaced by machine art, not wood carving or here, but it can happen. I understand why that comes to the table because evolution brings like new possibilities, but it also closes some doors. So I find wood carving amazing. Actually, with Jeanroll, we talk a lot. Like I admire what he does because I would be more a multimedia artist. I work wood, of course, but he's like the traditional example of someone that carves wood, and I imagine why that is a good question for you because
So this is even more important because you are here at the moment. I mean, you're going to be going to Siargao in 2 days, I think, right, or something like that. And now that Jeanroll has told you that it's a dying art, has it brought out passion? In you, or did it click an alarm just like me?
Well, I think, of course, and besides that, is like you can even feel it when you see the work. When you see a work that is wood carved or treated like very human, it communicates different. So it would be very sad to lose that. So yes, it alarms me because we don't need to let these traditions go away.
And you're a multimedia artist. What's your preferred medium?
Well, wood is my first love because...
sorry, I said multimedia. Multi-medium artist.
I mean, like wood would be like the first material I would choose. And the way I work it is normally with machinery because my background comes more from architecture and industrial design. That's where maybe we separate our roads. but it's like really interesting to join them in a residency because that's when interesting things come out, right? Like how can you mix those both worlds? Like where do they, what's the word, coincide? Like they intersect. Where is that point? So my media would be adapt to whatever I have at hand, actually. I like to learn from a place and maybe being able to apply to what I do, what I learned there.
What about cross-cultural collaborations? Because obviously, between the two of you, there's 3 different languages. Spanish, English, and Tagalog, okay? You don't speak Tagalog, you don't speak Spanish, and it's just English. How is this cross-cultural exchange working to make sure that your pieces are, are how should I say, embodies the cultural exchange that you both have?
Do you want to answer?
Yeah,
I also
Jeanroll.
speak English, but not very good at it.
No, that doesn't matter. Your art says it all. That's your language.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We planned the work. Pinaplano po namin kung paano siya gawin, yung paano mag-design, kung sinong gagawa ng ganitong part, sinong para sa ganito, sinong bagay dito. Nagkakaintindihan naman kami sa ganyan kasi magaling po siyang mag-design.
Yes.
Din, may mga harmony, ganyan yung na-learn
So
ko.
does Luca design and then you execute, or do you design and Luca executes, or because you have a few pieces that you collaborated on together, right?
I also designed some, and he also execute.
Yeah, we try to learn from each other, so we do both actually. So I
Yes,
can
yes, yes.
teach like my view, and he also his technique and mine. So
yes.
actually the pieces are like both of them. We did 2 pieces.
Yes.
Both are work together
Yes.
actually.
But you have 2 humongous backers here, and 2 very generous backers in terms of support and whatnot. That's of course the people behind the Ejar, which is Aleli Andanar and Ian Heron, and the Argentinian embassy. That's very big. And they've just sponsored recently a preview or a vernissage of your exhibition here in Manila. How was the public's response to that?
Well, I must say that while you're in the moment on the exhibition, you don't even think about it. Like you only talk and show, like you
Yes.
communicate, right? But I felt at least that it was really good. People were super heartwarming. They approach you like wanting to learn about your work. Maybe you can give them some information about what comes behind it. But I think both of our works, especially Jeanroll's, are really good. I love his work. They communicate alone. That is so powerful that I felt it was like a really good vibe. That people were accepting it. But well, I mean, you need to let a little time until you get the reviews or
Yes, of
see
course.
what people say. Actually,
What about you, Jeanroll? How was your experience with the vernissage or the exhibit in Manila?
Maraming nagtatanong doon kung paano siya ginawa, kung machine ba yung gumawa. Sabi ko, hindi, manually made po siya kasi pinopromote po namin yung manual wood carving na culture. Tapos akala nila yung banig is hindi siya wood at akala leather or something totoong banig. Sabi ko, wood din po yan kasi yung gawa ko po is always almost wood lahat.
Yeah, I can actually see on the screen what your pieces. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. Now I regret it so much.
How bad of
I
you.
know I'm terrible. But how did the Argentinian embassy and the Ejar shape the exhibition or your further cultural exchange here?
well, since I came to Philippines, I met, I think, the second day I was here, the ambassador, consul, deputy, super supportive, super happy to have an Argentinian here. For me too, to hear your language, you can find people of your country here. They push you, they explain how the place works. And in the exhibition, they arrange it like in an introduction, explaining a little bit about this cultural exchange and what you can learn from each other. So that is
Nice, but
really
we'll get back to you naman, Jeanroll.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a breather, trade talks, and the high life. Will be right back. Welcome back to Trade Talks, the highlight. We continue our conversations with artists Luca Martini and Jeanroll Ejar. So before the break, Jeanroll, I was tatanong lang ako kung paano na-shape yung exhibit mo. First exhibit mo ba sa sa Manila?
Ay, hindi. Maraming beses na po.
How terrible of me. I should have done deeper research because I'm looking at your pieces in the screen and I'm gobsmacked. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're saying?
Bali, parang nakapag-solo show na din ako dito sa Manila parang 2 times. Tapos, isang solo show sa Iloilo. Tapos, maraming group show din dito sa Manila. Bali na, yung mga artworks ko dito sa residency na ginawa ko siya yung isang artwork parang 1 week each na paggawa. Bali, everyday pumupunta kami sa shop. Tapos, ginagawa namin yon. Magkasama kami ni Luca.
But hang on, what does a residency mean? Can you educate me, Luca?
Well, you go to another country, you meet new people, new culture, you learn. I think it's the best way to absorb, and it's an experimental facet of an artist. This is my view, but I can give you an example. In the exhibition, I was talking with this, I think she's a critic or a collector, and she had a really interesting view about my work. Like, she saw like 3 different things, like three different styles. So I was like, you're absolutely right. A residency must be good for that because it showcases the reach of your work and you can explore new media or whatever interests you and the situation provides because I mean, the residency for me is that, it's like getting a new perspective. It's an uncomfortable situation that is necessary to grow.
What about Jeanroll? I mean, Lucas explained it. And is this your first residency?
No, this is my third
Okay.
residency.
I know, what's the importance of a residency to you?
Sa akin, yung pag nasa residency ka, parang nakafocus ka sa paggawa ng kung anong gawin mong artwork, hindi ka nadidistract sa maraming bagay. Parang focus lang talaga, pagising mo artwork, na kaagad yung pwedeng gawin. Yan. Tapos ito po yung time na din na para mag-explore ng another style or another techniques na parang hindi ka nakulong ba doon sa technique mo, kailangan mo mag-discovery ng iba sa pamamagitan ng kasama mo sa residency.
Just like Luca.
Oo, marami kang matututunan din sa kanila.
Okay, and what are you expecting in your residency in Siargao?
At doon siguro parang ibang kuha na din siya, ibang environment kasi parang mas relaxing doon, mas masarap siguro mag-residency doon. Kasi parang nature yung dating. Maybe ma-inspire ka naman sa nature, makagawa naman kami something na may inspiration from nature naman din.
Yes. What about you, Luca? What are you expecting? It's both your first time to go to Siargao. So what are you expecting, Luca?
Well, they show me photos. I know it's not the real thing till you get there. But we have a place.
You're hoping it's the real thing.
Oh, that must be even better, I'm sure.
Yes.
But yes, I mean, a lot of peace, beautiful dawn and sunset, chill and learn from the place. Like, I think it'll give you another perspective too.
Yes. What these residencies obviously are important, and just like Jeanroll said, and yourself. How do you think it contributes to the value of your art, both monetarily and the artistic interpretation of what you want to put out there?
Well, in a rough way, it could be like it's curriculum, like you're building your career, and it always sums like you have an experience abroad. It helps, but well, as we talked before, like what you gain is way more important. Like the experience itself, what you can learn there, a new technique, a new view, a new perspective of making your stuff. Because you need to evolve always. Like if you stay in the same place, in the same style, in the same everything, you never push yourself to get something new out of it. So, well, I hope we can evolve. I already can tell we did, but yeah.
Nice. Jeanroll?
Para sa akin, yung residency, napaka-importante siya kasi mag-open siya ng mga panibagong opportunity, magkakaroon ka ng bagong mga network, yan, mga connections. So, para widen din yung exposure namin sa art scene. Nakakatulong talaga siya yung art residency.
But again, talking about the business side of this, I don't know if you're comfortable or uncomfortable about the business side of art, because obviously these are the groups that have brought you in are non-profit, right? But if the pieces are sold, they can help out other artists to bring them over. But you, as a personal way of living, let's just say more than the business, how do you value your pieces after you're done with it? Because it's a piece of you. It's like a part of you. How do you part with it in a monetary way?
It's a very difficult question, because it's like giving up your baby. Like you put your effort, your time, but it's also like really refreshing and nice to see like your work can be sold. Like you can reach to people that can see something that you even like haven't even thought about it, or maybe they see the same as you, but they like admire it and want to keep it, or it's like they are supporters. There are people that take art seriously in the way like they respect a lot the work. So yes, the commercial part is a rough question, and I understand perfectly what you say, because it is like that. But it's part of the world. Everyone needs to eat. Everyone needs to like to get his stuff reach to other people.
Correct,
and like with that, maybe evolve too. It's part of it. Like
Yes. What about you, Jeanroll?
Para sa akin, mas nagustuhan ko yung binibili yung art ko na dahil gusto nilang ilagay sa bahay nila, gusto nilang i-keep, hindi yung parang bibili nila tapos i-resell.
Okay, I know that. I had an episode about that. It went got a lot of comments, but you were saying to resell.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So when they buy your art, you prefer to stay with the first person to buy it.
Yes.
Or because what if it's resold? Ibig sabihin, mas
Business
nag-increase yung the value of your art piece increased. So, I mean, to me, I think as I'm not an artist, but that would be to me like a compliment, because wow, my pieces are sought after. Is that not what you feel?
Okay naman yun kung yun yung gusto nila, pero mas okay sana sa akin na i-keep na dahil gusto nila yung gawa ko, gusto nila yung may piece na mula sa akin.
Yes.
Tapos kailangan din kasi pag nagsa-start ka pa bilang artist na mayroon ka talagang ibang pinagkakakitaan din na kung hindi man siya mabili yung art mo muna sa panahon ngayon dahil nagpukuan ka pa, build up ka pa ng pangalan mo, mayroon kang ibang pinagkakakitaan. Kaya sa amin mayroon kaming furniture shop at carving shop na sino-supervise ko. May mga tao akong tinuruan doon na yung mga kuan nila, yung nalaman nila na skill ay mula talaga sa akin. Kaya yun din yung bumubuhay din sa akin kung yung art wala pang medyong nagsusupport. Kaya kailangan din talaga may kuan ka, may another source of kuan ka din. Living.
Yeah, absolutely understand that bit. All right. I'd like to ask the last question. Luca, what's your biggest mistake?
Oh, I make a lot of mistakes. Actually, really. Like actually, I would say like, and if we talk specifically about art, every time I made a mistake, like the stress of the moment is enormous. But after that, you get a new piece, for example, something new. Really, like it happened all the time. I don't know. I was watching some videos you put in the display there, the screen, and even I work with holes a lot. Those holes were like accidental. It was
So your biggest mistakes actually came out to be a masterpiece.
Of course.
Is that the way? Okay, that's
It
my
works like
first.
that.
Your answer is one of my first answers. Okay, that I've heard. What about you, Jeanroll?
Sa akin naman, kung about sa art, hindi naman natin maiwasan na magkakamali ka talaga doon sa pagka-art.
Or in life.
Oo.
Biggest mistake in life or art.
Akong sa art, mas lalong gumaganda kasi yung piece pag nagkakaroon siya ng mistake kasi parang gumagana yung utak mo kung paano mo siya i-fix. Parang ganyan din ang nangyayari sa buhay natin nga kung magkakamali tayo, naghahanap tayo ng paraan at mas lalo tayong nag-improve bilang tao dahil sa mistake na yon na ating na-overcome. Parang ganyan din sa art, parang magkapareho sila sa artist din, yung art piece.
I love your answers. They're actually very inspiring. I really do.
Oh, what did he say? Tell me now.
I will translate after the show.
Okay.
But thank you so much for joining me this morning. You're both very inspirational to me.
Thank you.
And I hope that you got a great residency in Siargao. And don't forget, the Siargao curse.
We will go
You
to
guys might
Afam
stay
Bridge.
there. Yes. Thank you so much, Jeanroll and Luca, for joining me again this morning.
Thank you, sir.
And that is it for today's show. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Catch the Bilyonaryo News channel on Free TV channel 31 and on cable via Cignal channel 24. Thanks for watching the Bilyonaryo News channel. Always on top.